So if we take a look at, let's say link, for example. So what I did was I created, this is, that guy's a loser. This is an Outlook 2010, okay? How many of you are on Office 2010 yet? Okay, got a couple of you. Here's, this is worth it as far as Office 2010 goes. This is worth the price of admission, Outlook. Okay? The reason I would say that, and bear in mind I only just created this, is this guy. Okay? And the reason being, and I'll tell you, there's one button up here, two buttons that just thrill me on Outlook 2010. And that's actually over on the calendar. These guys. Share calendar. One of the biggest things that people ask is, hey, we need to be able to see somebody else's calendar. Okay, we'll call IT. IT will walk you through setting up permissions and all that kind of thing. It's a common end user need, but it's one that people can't figure out how to do. You know, in earlier versions, especially 2003 and the like. Here, I want to share my calendar. So, I just click on share. Here's an email. Choose who I want to share the calendar with. And I want to request permission, and do I want to see, and what details do I want? Now, there's a whole bunch of other buttons and tools and all that kind of thing, but that right there makes control of someone's mailbox so much easier. And you've got the same thing as far as contacts go. Yeah?
Can you hit the details down a little down arrow so we can see what other options besides available you've got?
Limited details and full details. But
so if I want to give my secretary full access to my calendar, full details, it will allow her to make appointments for me.
You got it. And then, once you did that, you can also go deeper. You can do it right here. So for example, at Simplex-IT, and mind you, this is actually a beta account, so it doesn't connect with us right now. You can add a person right here and give them a permission level, and there's actually several that are built in, including author. So what we do is we give everybody in the organization author rights to everybody else's calendar, so that they can see the full details about whatever it is, but they can only they can only edit their own. So in other words, if somebody creates an event for me, they can put it in my calendar, they can add whatever details, they can delete it, they can do whatever, but they can't change the stuff that I put in there for me. Okay? I mean, that's just right there. All right? And it's this kind of functionality that just, to me, is great from an end user standpoint. And if you add to that links, and right now I don't have anybody else in this organization, and I also don't have anybody else, any federated groups, because that would require another Office 365. But who's a contact? Kevin's a contact. So who do we got? I got Kevin. I can right here say put him to a frequent contact, add to a new group, whatever, and I can also call. Put in the subject, call him at work and mobile. And let's see. And this is not going to work because we don't have it connected. But I can also specify whether it's going to be a video call, audio, all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to see right off the bat whether or not he's available, and then I can connect accordingly.
The organization you mentioned, 100 user organizations on Exchange today.
Right.
Decided they put everything in the cloud. In Exchange, you have their address book. How does the address book work here? Does everybody need to create their own address book? Is there a corporate directory so that you can go and look everybody up? Does somebody have to do certain things to their account to be able to see everybody? How's that work?
This is Exchange. So you're going to still have a global address list that's going to be created and maintained and all that kind of stuff. And anyone who connects to it is going to be able to have access to it and see it and all that kind of stuff. So you're still going to have that functionality. Okay? Where you don't have the functionality at this point is you don't have the simple functionality of public folders. Okay? Now, Microsoft has been talking about getting rid of public folders since Exchange 2003. I think it was when I first started talking about it. What they want you to do instead is they want you to use SharePoint. And what you can do with SharePoint is create those folders and then attach them into your Outlook, which will give you that same functionality. The other thing that we found useful in a couple of cases where we didn't want to do that is we've added one additional mailbox subscription and made that the shared calendar or the shared address book.
What about distribution lists?
That's in there. Yeah, you could do unlimited distribution groups. You can also add context. Good questions. So you can add distribution lists. So you can have, for example, we have support at simplex-it.com. All right, which includes Ala, Kevin, myself. Okay, fine, they're the ones who will work on it. I just laugh. Everybody else, we also have aliases. HR at simplex-it.com goes directly to me. Unlimited contacts, which would be external connections, unlimited distribution groups, unlimited aliases. We're missing also conference room accounts. That's in there. So you've got all that functionality. I'm trying to think of anything else along those lines. I think those are them. So to stress, this is Exchange. So those things are all built into Exchange. They're all there and all that.
So organization that has some temporary employees, let's say.
Right.
That your Active Directory is you monitor on the premise.
Right.
And couldn't see me back and forth the thing that you said is still capabilities. What if I don't want to, let's say I have a contract or something I want to add. I don't really want to give them access to our network, but I want to give them a mail account. Is there a mechanism just to add it up in the cloud and not bring it to your premise? Those types of things?
Yes. I'm going to talk more on BPOS level than the Office 365 because I haven't delved enough into the Office 365. So it may be easier than this, but it's not going to be harder. So what happens is we have a relationship between our Active Directory, which has all our local all of our organizational user accounts and all that kind of fun stuff. Whenever I add somebody, a user there, it will automatically add them up in the cloud. It will not activate their account. It will not cost anything, but they're there. That way, any change to their first name, last name will automatically go. So it's a one-way synchronization. Okay? It's going to be two-way synchronization in Office 365. Right now, it's one-way. In addition to that, you can go up into the cloud and add simply a mailbox user. In which case, they don't exist as far as Active Directory goes. But as far as an email address and all of that fun stuff, they're there and they're fine. And they're part of the global addresses because, again, they're part of the Exchange organization. For those of you who are Exchange people from way back when, Exchange 2003 and 2000 were very, very tightly integrated with Active Directory. You couldn't move without having the user account in Active Directory. With 2007 and much more so in 2010, Microsoft actually got away from that and made the Exchange organization a separate structure from Active Directory. Why? Because they knew this was coming. Okay? So now we have one-way synchronization in BPOS, two-way synchronization in Office 365. One of the other things, and often in BPOS, and this one's probably been the biggest technical pain in the butt, has been in BPOS, the security is not synchronized. So it is a different password. You can make it the same if you want. But the password for using BPOS was a separate password from a person logging on an Active Directory. So if someone went to OWA, they would log on with essentially a different password. The other, which is actually good practice, but tell that to our users, is it requires a reset of the password every 90 days. Well, we have some clients, especially on the manufacturing side, who the fact that they have to remember one password at all is apparently much of a challenge for them. And they will ignore the you really need to redo your password, they'll get locked out and all that kind of thing. Now, with Office 365, the password's actually going to be synchronized. So that goes by. And there goes about, what, 1/3 of our calls? Any other questions along these lines? Yep.
Regarding the network connectivity, you were mentioning people in the same office, using CAD drawings, and send an email, go up to the cloud, and come back down to the other one.
Yep.
Might not be the best purpose. But do you have to size your network pipes any differently, or
Absolutely.
in regards to it?
You do and you don't, in the sense where your email is going out primarily, or just coming in primarily, so it's not internal. You've still got that data essentially going up and down the pipe, whether it comes into the exchange or goes to your exchange and then out, or just goes straight to the cloud. That said, the fact that it's coming from all the different workstations and all that is going to have an impact to a certain degree. Now, Microsoft includes, there are tools available, especially from a partner that you're with Walcott. Okay, so you guys have full access to this stuff. There are sizing tools that'll help you figure out whether or not there's going to be changes necessary. But in order to do that, you've also got to have an idea of what the current usage is. And that's where that can get kind of tough and icky, that kind of fun stuff. So, as far as the partnering, anybody else Microsoft partners? Okay, cool. There is a process you need to go through, that Wolcott would need to go through in order to become certified on the BPOS and then the Office 365. We were able to do it, so I'm pretty sure you guys will be able to do it. Actually, Wolcott, we've got a long history with you guys, and it's a good group, So, not like the other guys who are usually here, they suck. Any other questions? So, here's the takeaway. Oh, by the way, five seats or more. Minimum 5 seats. Okay. Microsoft is competing against Google. All right? They are going to stumble. They are going to have issues, just like Google's had. All right? But there is no question whatsoever they are in this for the long run. This is not an aberration of their service. This is not a, oh, we'll give this a try. They're in this for keeps. They will stay cost competitive. They will stay feature competitive. They will take them on everywhere, every how, every when. One other thing I should say, especially for larger organizations, you can also coexist. You can't do this in BPOS terribly well. You can actually coexist an existing exchange with hosted exchange. So you can have with some mailboxes up in the cloud and some mailboxes local. So if you had an organization, let's say, where we have 100 people inside locally, and then we have 250 people, all remote, if they wanted to, they could maintain their investment in the local exchange environment, I believe 2010, okay? But then in addition, take the weight off of, the stress off of that exchange environment by migrating those 75 or whatever number I just made up, I think 250 now. Those users can be up in the cloud and still be part of one email domain. That's in 365, not BPOS. Very cool opportunity here. If you have an organization that is either looking to upgrade their current email infrastructure, looking to upgrade their current Office infrastructure, or to standardize, to stabilize, so we've all got one version, and really doesn't want to do capital expenditure or high-level maintenance and support. Good opportunity. Good opportunity. And of course, we have done, I think 10 organizations so far this year, ranging in size from 5 or 6 up to 400. And I think we've got 2 more going on before the end of the year. And we've gone with multiple locations, single locations, full BPOS, exchange only. We've seen the fun stuff. And there are some peculiarities with any new service. And if you're interested in talking to us about that, we'd love to talk to you. Similarly, just to add a couple more advertising points. If anyone is looking to do any Microsoft purchases relatively soon, there are some good discounted programs going on between now and the end of the year. that you can essentially save about 15% on the cost if you work with a software partner. That would be us. And any other questions or anything? Time-wise, we're running out of time. Any other question? One thing I would also ask, just for yucks and giggles, if you guys could, how many of you saw this through Facebook or LinkedIn? Give us some feedback on that. I mean, just because we'd like people to know that, well, people didn't die from food poisoning or anything at these lunches, but we're still trying to recover from that one issue. I'm kidding. Okay, I think we have, what do we have, like, I have no idea.
We have some giveaways.
Woo!
Some prizes. It's Christmas.
Yeah.
So if you don't like the prize that you win, re-gift it. By the way, one of the things that we have, actually for the asking, is not really a prize, but if somebody's interested, I happen to uncover a Windows Server 2008 R2 for Itanium-based systems. 180-day evaluation. It'll work for 6 months. If you're interested in it, let me know. And we've got two, count them, two valuable prizes. I'm going to ask Dave here to reach up into this basket. All of you, I believe, have placed business cards in the basket. If you didn't bring your own business card, you wrote on the back of one line. Reach up there, Dave, to grab a card. Let's hope it's not yours. Oh, look, it's Dave Dixon from NeoShred. Dave gets his choice of a Windows 7 shirt and a Windows 7 shirt. One is large and one is extra large. All right, there's one. Now, the big prize. Since Dave did such a wonderful job on that task, we're going to ask him to do it again. Oh, Ken Ambler, Children's Hospital Medical Center of Akron. I hope you can use this, Ken. It is Windows 7 Ultimate 64-bit. It's the real deal.
We'll put it to use.
Very good. Other than that, don't forget your evaluation forms. We hope you had a good time. Hope you found some helpful information in this presentation. We appreciate you coming out once again in the cold and the snow. And happy holidays. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all that happy stuff. If you'd like to hang around and chit-chat, we'll be here for a while. We'd be happy to engage you. That's it. Any other questions? Go in peace.
Thank you.
Yay. Oh,
I didn't want to ask it because I think it was a stupid question. Do you want to standardize like by your office, you got the 2000 or 2003, to do this inscription? Is it like a big project you can get one?
Oh yeah, it's absolutely.
Oh, it is?
Absolutely.
Just like when you load it on your machine?
It's exactly the same. And actually there's a bit of a misnomer because this is